desert. When he's in the desert and he comes to get the water, he's in the middle of the desert, he goes to get the water, he realizes that it was nothing. And he doesn't find anything there but Allah, meaning Yawm al-Qiyamah. He finds Allah, and then Allah will make him accountable for what he did, and he's going to put him in the hellfire. So when the person is in the desert, even before he hallucinates, if he's in the desert, if he looks down on the horizon, the land looks like it's a heat wave, like it's moving. But it's not moving, it's an optical illusion. The dunya is like that. It's moving. He sees someone way down there, it looks like that guy is moving. And you look like you're moving to him. But when you get there, he's just on that earth, like everybody like you, no problem. Now what about the one who's in the desert and he's traveling and it's hot? The heat is very hot. He travels and now he starts to hallucinate. And he sees an oasis, water. He comes there and it was just an illusion. It wasn't nothing. Allah Ta'ala mentioned in this ayah that the people who disbelieve, their actions are like that. They're doing a lot of actions in this dunya, but Yawm al-Qiyamah, when they come, it's just going to be a mirage. Allah Ta'ala mentioned many ayat in the Quran. وَلَا تَكُونُوا كَالَّتِي نَقَدَتْ غَزْلَهَا مِنْ بَعْدِ قُوَّةٍ أَنْكَاثًا. He said, don't be like the lady who knits her sweater, and then after finishing it, she just rips it up. She sits there and meticulously, she has to do it. You just don't knit like this. It's meticulous. It takes some time. It takes some sabr. Don't be like the one who's doing all of these precious moments of knitting. After it's finished, she just rips it up. Don't be like that. How can you be like that? By doing a lot of deeds, praying Taraweeh, praying Tahajjud, doing whatever you do, giving a lot of money, and you're doing it for other than Allah. For an example, people sitting down together and they turn the lights off and they make the dhikr of Allah. Allah. And they sit for 1 hour. Allah. And if you keep doing that, you start to feel like you're flying. And then after everything is over, he was doing all of that for what? It's going to be nothing because it wasn't in accordance to the sunnah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, in Surah Al-Kahf, قُلْ هَلْ نُنَبِّئُكُمْ بِالْأَخْسَرِينَ أَعْمَالًا الَّذِينَ ضَلَّ سَعْيُهُمْ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَهُمْ يَحْسَبُونَ أَنَّهُمْ يُحْسِنُونَ صُنْعًا أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بِآيَاتٍ وَلِقَاءٍ فَحَبِطَتْ لَهُمْ أَعْمَالُهُمْ فَلَا يُقِيمُ لَهُمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ وَزْنًا. Tell them, Ya Muhammad, you want to know who will be the worst off Yawm al-Qiyamah? Those people who do a lot of things and they think that they're doing the right thing, but they didn't believe in meeting Allah, they didn't believe in the ayat of Allah. Those people, they're the ones who won't give them no wazn, no weight Yawm al-Qiyamah. Their deeds won't be anything Yawm al-Qiyamah. Anything. Those are some of the ayat from the Quran, and there are many more. As for the Sunnah, the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told the people about Ramadan that a man may fast, and he only gets from his fast, making himself hungry and thirsty. The Nabi was in the Masjid sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, another companion came in, he prayed 2 rakats, but he prayed very quickly, and then he said, Salamu alaykum ya Rasulullah, wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah, go back and pray because you didn't pray. The man went and prayed a second time very quickly. He didn't pay attention to the positions of salah. After he finished, he came back, Salamu alaykum ya Rasulullah. He said, wa alaykum salam, go back and pray. You didn't pray. He did everything the 3rd time. He said, go back and pray. You didn't pray. He said, Wallahi, this is the only thing that I know. The Prophet said, okay, if you want to make salah, then make a good wudu, face the qibla, and then he went through the prayer and he was telling them to take your time. The point here is, the man prayed, but he didn't pray. He prayed, but he didn't pray. He prayed, but he didn't pray because he didn't pray correctly. Either the person made shirk, so his deeds are 0, or the person didn't do it in accordance to the sunnah, so it's going to be rejected. We're about to do the Hajj, inshallah. At the end of the Hajj, we have the Eid al-Adha, Eid al-Adha, the Eid of slaughter. There was a man during the time of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He went and he slaughtered before the Salah of the Eid. He slaughtered before. The Prophet said, did you slaughter before? He said, yes. He said, the meat that you slaughtered is just sadaqah. As for the Eid al-Adha, that's wajib, you have to slaughter again after the Salah. So if you slaughter before the prayer and the Eid, it doesn't count. It's just sadaqah. But the obedience to Allah for the adha is when you slaughter after the salah. So the man did it at the wrong time. So if a person does something in the wrong way, at the wrong time, in the wrong place, in the wrong mode, in the wrong method, he'll make his deeds null and void. And that's why we say, in Islam, we have to have a minhaj. You have to have a method by which you do things. You can't be a haphazard individual. Just do what you want, when you want. I want to slaughter now, I want to do this, I'm going to pray Salat al-Dhuhr before Dhuhr time. I'm going to pray Maghrib 4 rakat instead of 3. No, you have to have a method in order to optimize and maximize the benefit. What am I mentioning that for? I'm mentioning that because the scholars of Al-Islam and the qualified, competent people who we should be listening to, they understand this point. We have to beware of the people who are not qualified and they're not qualified and they're not competent. Listen to what Allah mentioned in the Quran. And I really hope you brothers pay attention to this ayah. Allah mentioned this ayah is in Surah Al-Imran. It's about ayah number 79, somewhere around 79. ما كان لبشر يؤتيه الله الكتاب والحكم والنبوة ثم يقول للناس كونوا عبادا لي من دون الله ولكن كونوا ربانيين بما كنتم تعلمون الكتاب وبما كنتم تدرسون. This is the sunnah of Allah with all of the prophets. The ayah said, it is not possible, it is mustahil, impossible for Allah to give a human being a book that He reveals, Quran, Injil, Torah, Surah Ibrahim, Surah Musa. It is impossible for Allah to give a human being a book, or to give the human being al-hukum, his sunnah, or to give the human being an-nabuwah, make him a prophet. And then that human being turns around and says to the people, worship me instead of Allah. The Quran said instead, that human being is going to say to the people, you people should be rabbaniyin. They say to the people, you people, be rabbaniyin, because of what you used to learn in the book and because of what you used to teach. So this is the point here. Al-Imam al-Bukhari, Al-Imam Abdullah ibn Mubarak, those big scholars of hadith, they said everywhere in the Quran where this word Rabbani is mentioned, the Rabbani. What does that word mean in our religion? Rabbani. Allah said that the Nabi told the people, Kunu Rabbaniyin. You back there, you got to be Rabbani. I have to be Rabbani, Rabbani, Rabbani. What's the meaning of Rabbani? Those scholars said the Rabbani is the individual who, and can you tell us, brother, where we are? It's the individual who teaches the small knowledge before the big knowledge. Pay attention to that, guys. The Rabbani is the one who teaches people the simple knowledge before the big knowledge. You have children. You're going to teach your children how to say thank you, inshallah, you're welcome, mashallah, before you teach them algebra. As a person who's teaching, you're going to teach the people things like birrul walidain, how to respect your parents. You're going to teach people how to make wudu. You're going to teach people simple things before you teach them big things. Here in this country, we're trying. We have a fitna of people who, they may have sincerity and some don't have sincerity. But let's just say those who have sincerity. They're really sincere, but they're not qualified. They want to teach the people and call our community here in this area, in Alamar, Spark Hill, Spark Brook. They want to call the Muslims in this room to establish the Islamic Khilafah. The Khilafah is important, wallahi. The Khilafah is important. But in this room right here, we have to establish the Khilafah in our homes, and Allah will establish it in the earth. And anyone who comes and he uses a microphone and a bullhorn, Khilafah, 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 he's not being sincere to the Muslims. He's not giving sincere nasiha. In this room, right here, I don't know any of you in your personal lives. I don't know any of you in your personal life. You know yourselves, I know myself. If we want to establish the Khilafah in the earth, in the land, we have to establish it in our homes first. I have a wife. I have to make sure she's praying 5 times a day. I have to make sure that my wife is wearing hijab correctly. I have to make sure that all of the people who are under my roof are trying to practice Islam to the best of their ability. Now in my home, half of them are not praying. Some of them believe in Hazan Nazir. Other ones, they believe that the Nabi never died. All kind of issues. Even us, the way we're going on, the way we're carrying on. And I'm going to come and say, Khilafah, Khilafah. The Khilafah is important. Then you have the other people who want to be for the people. And they say, Jihad, Jihad. Jihad, Jihad. And Hakimi, and Hakimi, and Hakimiyah. All of that is important. All of that is important. Someone who says it's not important, something's wrong with his Islam. So no one is saying it's not important. But what I'm saying to you here today is, that's not the way of the rabbani. That's not the way of the rabbani. The scholar who is rabbani, the one who is giving dawah, he's rabbani. The mother of the father who is rabbani, they're the people who want to focus on the issues that the people have the ability to take care of, and they're not going to talk about those things that are far, far away. So recently, if you know or you don't know, we have some people in this city who have been accused of certain things. I don't say they did it, and I don't say they didn't do it. I don't know. I believe everything that the newspaper says. But what I do know is, we have an element amongst us Muslims where, because of our lack of knowledge, anyone who comes and he starts to speak strong and hard and rough and tough and with bravery, some of us, due to lack of knowledge, we think everyone who's screaming something needs to be listened to. We need to be careful. Don't be of those people who you're making all these efforts, and then Yawm al-Qiyamah you'll come and your efforts are rendered null and void because you didn't do it the right way. You didn't do it at the right time. You didn't do it at the right place. Don't be like that. There's a group that you all know, I believe, here in this country called the Muhajirun. The Muhajirun. They want to establish Khilafah in Islam, and that's a good thing. Every Muslim should want the Khilafah. But it's a way of going about it. The point is, how am I going to establish the Khilafah if part of my religion is I don't take certain hadith of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam? If a hadith comes to me and it is a particular category or grade of hadith, like the hadith ahad, I don't take it. How are you going to establish the Khilafah of Islam if the kalam of the Nabi, you think and feel you have the right to say, I'll take this and I won't take that? That's not establishing the Khilafah. So I want to share with you, brothers, a few incidents to show you that the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he paid attention to the small things, the simple things. For 13 years,